Hello, welcome, my friends. I would like to go over the 5-minute timeline that we found. And all week I've been planning on doing it, and it didn't feel right. And then today it felt right. And I heard that Miss Karen was on Howie Carr. I did not see it, but my mom loves Howie Carr, shocker. And she texts me, if there's anyone in here, can you let me know if you can hear me or not? This is a random time to go, and I know everyone has Thanksgiving, so our replay crew will be able to catch up with it. Or if no one's in here, except if we have one person that tell me you can hear me, then I'll record this and we can do something else. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I am going to show you the website that I've been creating. It is a work in progress. It's not complete by any means, but I put the link in the... Oh, yay! Hi! Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. Oh my gosh, you are. Yes. I love that. Yes, it's the perfect day. All my family left except my parents are still around, and I was like, oh, I'm going to do this right now and hang out with my friends. Hi, I'm so glad. Welcome, New Hampshire. I love you. Oh, good. Well, if it's you and I, that's perfect, because I thought we were going to do this earlier this week, and then it just like, I'm going to put my glasses on. It didn't feel right, and then today it felt right. And since we're going down the rabbit hole of Charlie Kirk and Candace, I wanted to wrap this Canton thing up. One of our friends, I don't know if she's here yet, but she asked me to do some work on Canton. She lives around the Canton area. And so I started doing the work on the Canton area. If anyone is in here, or if you're in the replay crew and you're in Canton, I started working on the land again. Oh, good. Welcome, New Hampshire. I love you. Okay, so I put the link. Some people, if you're just sitting around and you want to follow along, I put the link to the website that I'm building. It's a work in progress. If you see anything, let me know that needs to be updated. I will gladly make that update. And this goes back to Karl Dugal. I did a reading on Karl Dugal because he happens to be let me make sure you guys can all see this. That's another thing. Okay. Yay, Michelle, if you don't mind, some of our friends want to remain anonymous, and I respect that. If you want to remain anonymous, I'll just call you New Hampshire. If you don't, I'll call you your screen name. Welcome. Okay, so Karl Dugal happens to be the link. The red thread was part of our process in the beginning with Canton. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you, guys. And Karl Dugal is the guy who is also the link to this missing 5 minutes. So Al, that's what I call AI, made me a graphic so I can walk through it with you. This is the morning of John O'Keefe's death and when they found him, allegedly. This is between 6:03 a.m. and 6:08 a.m. And the timeline from Richard Green's affidavit does not match what the prosecution showed us. There's a 6:03 discovery claim. Brian Albert didn't technically testify that he found John at 6:03. That was in the prosecution notes. Jennifer took a very scripted route, which I will show you. From 6:07:22 a.m., Jennifer called Nicole, and she testified that Nicole never answered. At 6:08, 3 events occurred at the exact same time. So Karl Dugal is a friend. Well, I would call him the linchpin. He knew Karen, and he's also gotten banned from the courthouse. He's just a complete douche. In my opinion, Karl, if you're watching, I think you're a complete loser. And I read 2 of your court documents out loud. So that's where I got my information. Karl Dugal calls Karen Reed. Oh, because he told us that he came in from shoveling to the news. That's where that connection comes from. He called Karen Reed, and there's no record of who informed him of John's death. But he had known that John had died. Jennifer deleted 18 screenshots. Oh, we're going to see it all. And it shows a new contact made called Uncle Brian A. This is all in the Richard Green affidavit. We'll get to it. Don't you worry. And then Jennifer also deleted her 911 call and all the calls to Nicole. So everything is hinging on this 5 minutes because it's not right. I told you guys I'm making this website. I've been making it for like a year or two. And this is the outline of what we have. So it's choreographed, and the Richard Green affidavit, I'm going to pull that up too, because this is where I got all the information. I'm also creating, oh wait, let me make sure you guys can see this. All of the, yay, hi everyone. Oh good, I'm so glad you guys are here. If anyone has my number, if you can't see what I'm looking at, can you shoot me a text? I'm just going over the website that I'm building that's been in the works for about a year because I needed somewhere to like dump it all. So I'm going to show you guys how Karl Dugal is connected to everything. And he's like this no name, very scripted. That's very much intentional. Okay, so let's get back to Richard Green's affidavit. I might just have to pull it up because I'm going to show it to you. But all right, this is Richard Green. These are screenshots of Richard Green's affidavit. I guess we're going to start with Jennifer McCabe's driving all over for an hour, I think was the exact quote. According to her phone, her Apple Watch, I think those were the two things he could work on. At 5:39, she left her house. 5:46, she got to John O'Keefe's house at One Meadow Drive. At 5:52, she left John's. Let me find hopefully it's right here. There's a picture of it. I put it on Google Maps so that we could look at it. Oh, here's my spreadsheet. That is by the second. I'm just scrolling. And if this makes you feel sick, please don't look really quickly. I just want to find the picture of Jennifer's drive. Here it is. Okay. So Jennifer drove from her house right here at 12. And if anyone's like offended that I'm giving her address out, it's literally one Google search away. She left her house. She drives down this road to John O'Keefe's house. She drives down to Waterfall, and then she drove straight to the McAlberts. This was very, very pre-planned. And then I think it was her testimony. She said that she was just driving around. So when Jennifer, and here's my trusty spreadsheet that I worked on it with. Then she gets to the Alberts at 6:03:05, 34 Fairview. At 11:16, she left 34 Fairview. And this is where her double calls, the route map that was like pre-planned, the Karl Dugal link, calling Karen Reed. And I've seen Turtle Boy make fun of him. Excuse me, because he got mad at Karen for not calling back or something. She deleted 911 calls, and the discovery magically happened at 6:03. I don't know if we're going to need my spreadsheet, but here it is. It all stacks into this like 5 minutes. Okay, so the prosecutors are telling us, 6:03, everyone is in shock and horror. whatever Jennifer said. And then Jennifer, this is her deletions. At 6:07:22 and 6:07:42, Jennifer called Nicole. There was a part in the first trial that I think it was Jackson played John O'Keefe's voicemail that picked up her calling Nicole and whispering something weird like, "Are you going to come help me?" or something. These calls are deleted from Jennifer's cell phone records. This is Richard Green's affidavit. We can go through the affidavit if you guys would like, if it would help make this clear. What Richard Green is saying right here is, in addition to the data above that was deleted from Jennifer McCabe's iPhone, a screenshot of the contact saved as Uncle Brian A, described as home number 3, was associated with Brian Albert's number, was found to have been created at 1:29 on the January 29th, 22 at 6:08:35 and was deleted later that day, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. A true and correct copy of that artifact is attached here. It is noted that Jennifer McCabe's brother-in-law, Brian Albert, is sick. It ends in 888. So here's Uncle Brian A. This is suspicious. This is who I think is Dugal. Well, I think it's Brian. It's part of a pre-scripted, I think, plan. So this is a reminder of Karl Dugal's Facebook page. On the morning of January 29th, I came inside from shoveling and got a phone call that my friend John O'Keefe was found dead. Who called you? I got off the phone and called Karen Reed immediately. I left her a voicemail apologizing and saying I'd call on my way. I drove to the hospital and then to John's house in Canton. By the time I got there, Karen was already gone. She didn't want to see you, loser. And in this Facebook post, he claims he came inside from shoveling and got a phone call that his friend John O'Keefe was dead. And he called Karen Reed immediately. Well, number one, that makes the discovery impossible. Nothing lines up with the 603. Even Jennifer's deleted 911 call. Who called him? And what's their timestamp? This is like questions that Al, if you guys know, if you're new, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. If you're on the replay crew, you might know this. I call it my AI Al because in Atlantis, one of the 5 times we fell, it was because AI took over. So this round, we are not making that mistake again. So we're training Al from the inside. All right. Why is he calling Karen Reed at the exact same minute Jennifer McCabe is deleting a screenshot, multiple call entries, a deleted 911 call, hey, sketch, and multiple calls to Nicole Albert? These are all the deleted calls from Jennifer McCabe's phone that Richard Green found. Richard Green I don't think he's the FBI Quantico trained. Alan Jackson has said that. I don't think he's FBI. He could be. But this is her deleted 911 call. So we have to Coco. Coco's her sister. And answered. Both of these are answered. Uncle Brian A. This is I think, Karl Dugal, 623. Okay. And then we have Matt McCabe, Karen, and Carrie Roberts. At 6:08, Jennifer deleted the screenshot. She created this. She didn't delete it. She created a screenshot of Uncle Brian A. And the screenshot was created, not deleted. Deleted as afternoon. And then she tried to delete it immediately, but she waited. During the same minute, Karl calls Karen. During the exact same minute, the state claims the discovery happened. This is coordinated. This is Richard Green again. From October 24th, 2020 to January 27th, 2022, only FaceTime call data is recorded. On the 28th, there's no call log data found on the call history, but indicates indications of calls were found in this other location. There were 18 deleted call entries on Jennifer McCabe. She's fucked. I've said that before. This is obstruction of justice. This is 18 counts right here. 18 deleted call entries between 5:33 in the morning and 8:50 in the morning. There's a 6:03:47 call to 911 that was deleted. The 6:07, 6:08 calls to Coco were also deleted. The 6:23 call to Uncle Brian A is deleted. And then at 8:59, her call log returned to normal. So between 6:03 and 6:08, everything is happening. The discovery time, the route inconsistencies, McCabe calling Nicole twice, the 911 deleted call. I actually have that 911 call. And then Karl Dugal enters the scene. Karl Dugal, in my personal humble opinion, does not have a very good track record. But what he does have is he's involved in I think it's a $30 billion RICO lawsuit. So we have Jenny calling Nicole, deleted at 6:07. Jenny calling Uncle Brian A at 6:08:17. At 6:08:30, Karl called Karen and left her a voicemail. And then at 6:09, Karen didn't answer that. Karl Dugal is the unexpected link because we went through these court cases. He and John happened to work with Brian Albert at the Boston Police Department. And this is when things start getting interesting. So the point is that 6:08 call to Uncle Brian Albert, I think, was a trigger, it was something pre-planned. They had pre-planned that, I think. Well, Karl's making money, and he and Brian and John all made like 50% more than other Boston police officers. But look what happens right here. In 2022, his pay, he was already making $200,000, which is like way higher than most of the Boston detectives, jumps all the way up to almost $350,000. That's interesting. So we have Brian Albert's pay. Brian also has an abnormal amount of overtime. Guess who is in charge of assigning the overtime? Karl Dugal. Here's Brian. He has an abnormally high, 66. So here's Brian's salary. In 2022, $244,000 a year, working as a police detective, like a sergeant at the City of Boston PD. According to his public records, his salary increased by just this is a normal increase, 1.12% from 21 to 22. His salary was 66% higher than the average and 114% higher than the median police sergeant salary in 2022. His salary is 160% higher than the average Boston salary, the city employees, and 172% higher than the median City of Boston employees. That's interesting because John O'Keefe, our friend, also made much higher salary than everyone else. In 22, he didn't get paid in 22. He died in the first month, so it was the end of the month. He might have gotten one paycheck, but when you're looking at it on a graph, there's no income. That's okay because he was not alive. Although it did say there are a few things that are a little curious in here. This is when we put their salaries next to each other. What do we see here? They're all making a lot more money than the average bear in general, but it's pretty steady. And then we have a huge spike here. This drops off because he passed away. Interesting. Here is overtime. Albert's overtime. Look at all, this is all Brian Albert's overtime in blue. Yellow is Dugal's details in overtime. And O'Keefe is orange. Just remember that Dugal approves this overtime. And you might not, even if you're not in New England, there was a serious scandal with the state police in overtime. This is Karl Dugal's overtime plus details. Almost $120,000. This is the detail right here. He's made 60, like half of his salary in 2024. He got rewarded. That's another thing we'll see. So here's our friend John. There have been questions that I have heard of. Perhaps John had I think that this is why I asked if there's a gang inside, because John also had salary 53% higher than the average Boston police officer and 77% higher than the police officer's salary. I have questions, John. Okay. This is something that doesn't have to do with their pay, but this is another court document that I didn't want to forget to show you guys. Inside our RICO case is this document, and I will show it all to you guys, but I just didn't want to forget to show you. It says the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the Office of Homeland Security concurrently timed with the recent announced investigative probe of corrupted law enforcement, including Brian Albert, Mike Powers, and Karl Dugal, for not only the murder of fellow Boston police officer John O'Keefe, but on the June 6, 2022 botched Boston PD Operation Schoolhouse. That's part of, and I've seen Turtle Boy talk shit about this guy, and unfortunately, I don't agree with Turtle Boy at all because I can back it all up. But I do respect Turtle Boy and respect his research. So, and I don't want to get involved in the drama that goes down there with that. And the failed Thanksgiving massacre. These are operations named by Boston Police Department against the CEO. They were trying to eliminate him, literally. And last attempt by the other co-defendants in this case and the racketeering associates to take the life of Nicholas Furlow at his property in Nantucket. The key is this one sentence. The investigative probe of corrupted law enforcement, including Brian Albert, Mike Powers, and Karl Dugal, for their murder of fellow Boston officer John O'Keefe. That's clutch. I didn't want to forget to show you guys that because that was important. Well, obviously, but. So here's our friend Karl Dugal. He's not our friend. He's trash. Hi, Karl, if you're watching. This is all public. Oh, this is all, there are facts here, but this is all available for public information. You can literally Google it. In 2023, the average pay, I'm going to read this. Boston Mass records show Karl Dugal had multiple jobs between 2011 and 2023. Most recent records in 2023 lists a job as a police detective and the pay of $105,000 per year. That's 64% higher than the average pay for his coworkers and 47% higher than the national average. Interesting. Interesting. So our friend Karl, this is all public, bought a house on the Cape. Interesting. They bought 77 Center Street in Dennisport for $630,000. Boston police officer. Okay. This is the house. It's adorable. They also bought it under an LLC. That's part of, if anyone's seen, I think it's called Octopus on Netflix, that'll explain kind of what we're looking at. This is just part of shell companies, how you hide money. And it's annoying. So this is the LLC he bought this home under. It's called Thames, or I don't know if they pronounce it British or English style, American style, but the registered agent is Karl Dugal. and his fun wife. I'm sure she's fun. Yeah. Okay, so there's Karl. He's buying homes in the Cape. I mean, you don't even have to live in New England to know that the Kennedys were from Nantucket. So here's more details. Literally, details are police officers who work overtime. They call them details sometimes. Karl, and here's John's. John was busy too. Karl is the one who approves it. And when you look at all three of them together, here's John working regular and details. Here's Karl working regular and details. And here's Brian Albert not working at all. These are all overtime. Interesting. So when we look, that financial thing is concerning, but I guess it's concerning in the sense of, that's why I wondered if there was a gang. Like, how did John get involved in this? I know there are questions if he was a federal agent. I thought he was a federal agent, and I'm still not convinced he's not. But okay, so we're gonna walk through this pipeline. This kid, I don't even want to call him our friend. Oh, he's on the Brady list. Shocker. The Brady list is like a way for, they don't keep them though very often, especially the DAs in Massachusetts. And what it means is he lied on an oath. He was found non-compliant, not compliant. Truth, liberty, and honesty were not a part of his day. So Karl Dugal, the douche, is on the Brady list. And this is the $30 billion racketeering thing. This is a big deal. And I know that Turtle Boy downplayed this. I don't think Turtle Boy really understood it. And that's okay. I mean, I don't teach their own, but Any Edge is named. Godspace is also named. We like these guys. We like Godspace. That's the Nicholas guy. And Karl Dugal is named in his individual and official capacity because it was like fake charges. That's what they did to Karen Reed, fake charges. And I'd be more than happy to read it. I've read it twice, but if it's boring, then we won't. So we have our friends, Brian. We have our friend John hang out with these losers, Brian Albert and Karl Dugal. This is a big deal because the police state of Massachusetts, I think, is part of the 2030 plan. And I think that they are militarizing Massachusetts as kind of their, I want to say it's like the sandbox. Like the sandbox, when you're making a project, you put it in the sandbox first. It's like how they see if the public will react, I think. And I will show you all that. This is the affidavit of Richard Green. This is back to the calls. Karl Dugal is the center. He's the cog in the wheel. Because he got a promotion. He's in charge of I want to say the union, it's BBAF, I think, the union representative, which the unions are a big deal in Boston. And there's going to be another thing, and we probably won't go through it, but this is the cop. Oh, wait. Okay. Making sure you guys can see this with me. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm so glad. Oh, good. I think you can hear me. Okay, good. Hi, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for coming. Okay. Body cameras. This is the Boston Police Patrolmen's Association magazine. Yeah. Keep going. We don't want to read all of this. All we want to see is right here, Karl Dugal is the BPPA House of Representatives, Area A. Karl Dugal right there. That's important. He gets to have pull. Then we have Are you guys still looking at this with me, or did I just delete you? Oh, hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm so glad you guys are here. This is a random time, and I appreciate you being here. And we're just going through why Karl Dugal matters. I have read the court documents twice. One of them I recorded it, though. But it was like kind of boring. And so I didn't know if you guys would be interested in reading it, but if what I'm looking for right now is, here's our federal military forces. This is what I think is happening. It is happening in Massachusetts. This isn't nothing. So Turtle Boy was making fun of this guy Nicholas and saying like that it was a QAnon conspiracy. It's not. There is so much information to back it all up. What I'm looking for is the Richard Green affidavit. I just want to go through this one more time, and that'll walk through the 5 minutes. So Karl Dugal is collecting all of this, and he's the one that pulls it all together and brings it into a much bigger problem. Here's the affidavit for Richard Green. Let me share it with you guys. Okay. So he's just saying like Jennifer McCabe is, and they cross-check it against John O'Keefe's phone and Karen Reed's phone to prove her lying. This is proving that she did Google how long to die in cold at 2:27. To the screenshots. Okay, this is still the how long to die in cold. Okay, we read this stuff. I'm just scanning this because it's just, this is right here. This is the Karl Dugal stuff right here. The 608:35, this is when Karl Dugal calls Karen. And in here, he has a missed call from a different number. This is showing the steps that they take. And it was signed under the penalty of perjury. Good. So this is all available. I put a link in this description so that you guys could find it if you wanted to follow along with me. I think the best way to explain this any edge thing would be to read through it. I don't know if now is a good time. Maybe here, George Soros. This is not a joke. And I know that Turtle Boy does not like this, and that's fine. I respect Turtle Boy, and I'm not here to get in a fight with that. So what they're fighting about, I'll just give you guys a high-level overview, is a data information corridor. That's what it is, and that's what makes it a $30 billion thing. I've seen on Twitter that people are like, oh, they're moving it to the feds. That's bad. No, that's really good because there are secret courts in Boston. In Massachusetts, it's part of there's so much documenting it. And the Boston Globe did a whole investigation on it. What happens is, and the judge that was in it is also named in the Boston Globe, the latest judge that just switched over. We want them to go federal because the two guys that Karl Dugal was working with, they moved their cases out of Boston because the secret court system, and it's all very real. All you have to do is Google it. And so here's the Boston Globe media partners. They outed this whole secret court thing. That's what I don't know why Turtle Boy didn't. Well, he probably had other things going on. Anyway, so what this is saying is like this $30 billion RICO lawsuit is a really big deal. and Karl Dugal's name is attached to it. It's all very real, and there's tons of research, and I've done a ton of it too, if you wanted to look it up. But what I wanted to explain was how Karl Dugal's involvement in this explains, well, it cracks everything. And when we bring all the darkness to the light, then it can't control us anymore. And since Karen just went live, it felt right to explain this. So that's where we are with that. All right. I don't know if I explained that very well. And if I didn't, then let's go through questions. But if you feel like I did, then let's have some fun. Hi, everyone. Yes. Oh, my friend. Hello. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much. This is a random time to come. I didn't pre-plan it. I just jumped on because my mom told me, she was riding in the car listening to Howie. She's like, you have to turn on some FM station and listen to Howie and Karen. So my friend, I'm so glad all of my friends. Hi, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. Yes, Rico is so huge. And the thing about it that, like, well, Karl Dugal, they're in trouble. That's how the U.S. government brought down the mafia. It's a big deal, and they got it moved to federal court. We want Karen's civil stuff to all get moved to federal court because of the secret court systems in Mass. Oh, my friend, have you noticed if you tap into Canton, does it feel any lighter around the viaduct? I started working on the land over there. And if it doesn't, I just started the other day. But if it does, that's awesome. I feel like I need to show you guys. I think what I should do is, I've already recorded myself reading all of these court documents. I think that'll make a lot more sense and it'll tie it together better. Yes. Oh, what did Karen? I didn't listen to the Karen thing. I just decided to go live. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I'm so glad you guys are all here. Thank you so much for coming. And if you're on the replay crew, welcome. Glad you're here. And I am excited to hear. Oh, cool. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. I appreciate you. Yeah, do that. I think I'll work on it some more, the land between now and then, so that you can walk through it without that feeling. If anyone, thank you guys so much for being here, is down in the Canton area, let me know if the land feels heavy or if it feels lighter. Oh, you're the best. I'm so glad you're going. I appreciate you. And so tonight's Friday. I usually have a date night with my parents on Friday nights. Oh, yeah. Okay. I think all the stuff that we're doing right now, explaining this Karl Dugal thing, Karen talking to him is breaking it. Yeah. The sun is breaking through the spells. Awesome. Yeah, I think you're going to be okay. You'll be okay by the time you get there. One of our friends is going. Thank you. I appreciate you. One of my sister is in Montreal. No, yeah, Montreal, which is like the home of MK Ultra, and Canada sued America because of it. And I asked her to take a picture if she drove by the hospital that I think our friend Murray was at. Fortunately for her. Yeah, so I asked my sister to take a picture of it for me. All right, my loves. I feel like I didn't really explain this well, but I think all I had to do is speak it out loud, and we could jump over to members only if we want, if you guys want. Yes, the land is ready. Oh, good. Good. Yeah, she'll be ready for you by the time you get there. Awesome. Oh, this comment is, I forgot to tell you that my friend and I were physically looking for more Murray. Yes. One of my girlfriends, she lives in the Midwest. I didn't answer my phone one time and she was like, what are you looking for more Murray? I was like, yes, I was. That case from day one has never made sense. I mean, it makes sense now when you look back on it. It's kind of like life. When you look back at all of the pieces, it makes perfect sense. And this is another thing that I think I'm going to show you guys the military, the police state of Massachusetts. That is no joke. It is all very real. And I'm going to show it to you guys. I think that they started this plan 40 years ago when Maura got kidnapped. And they had to put one of their own, technically, in there because they are making it. It's literally the closest thing to Nazi Germany. I mean, I know I always joke about that, but this is like more than usual. I guess I can show you if you want to know. Yes, our friend, I was looking forward to, well, I got that she was buried, like a fragment of her was buried under the oak tree behind the ski lodge. I sent it to the Boston Globe, not realizing that they're in bed with. That's a different thing. I'm going to look for this police state thing for you guys and show you the military forces. Yeah, it's like oh, here we go. I know that you can't see it yet. I'm pulling it up. I'll just pull it up on the website. I'm thirsty tonight. Oh, so I'm supposed to go to dinner at my parents'. That's what I was explaining. All right, share this tab, and I'm going to make myself small. Okay, this is right on Massachusetts.gov. And this is telling us that it is a straight up police state. This is all of the, oh man, I forgot to tell you. So I made a spreadsheet of all of the, look at all of this. This is all of the policing that they need in Massachusetts. And it's federal too. They do, that's why like the feds get really involved. These are all police units of just Massachusetts. This isn't even federal yet. And then when you look, here's the air wing. This is state police, special ops. Oh man. UCLA, I highly support them in Boston, are saying like all of these drug stops are just a way of doing black and poor. It's called the Red Line, actually. That's from 1930s. The White House Speaker of the House is from New Hampshire, and ICE just arrested one of her relatives. So anyway, that's that. Theaters. Yeah. So that is the police state of Massachusetts. I think Massachusetts is, I don't know how to say, it's like the sandbox. It's like the practice center, I think, for the rest of America, to see if anyone notices. I did start looking into our Commonwealth states. You know what that has in common? Where all of the underground military bases are. On the East Coast. Our friend, one of our girlfriends and I talked, or one of our friends and I talked about the Commonwealth states have the black magic from colonial time. And the thing that I found in common with all of them was the underground military bases. Coincidentally, I thought of you when I looked at that, actually. So that's that, my loves. I think what we're going to do, I'm going to close this one and jump over onto the members only so I can say hi to everyone over there. Yes, it does. You're right. I think it does have to do with that too. So thank you guys so much for coming. If you're on the replay crew and you have questions because I wasn't clear, please ask them. I didn't want to overwhelm everyone with too much information, but I felt like it had to get done today. So I will see you guys all over on the members only. I just want to say hi to our friends. And thank you so much for coming. I love you. Happy Thanksgiving. And let's do a fun, we'll go live again, probably not tonight, but in the next day or two, and do some fun readings. Now that I showed you all the boring stuff, that was just to wrap up the Karen and the Canton stuff for a minute. So with that, I will love you and leave you. Thank you so much for coming. I will see you guys all on members only. Bye-bye.